家人们，你们想不想看俄罗
Hey, family. How's everyone doing? Today, I've got something special to chat about with you all. Want to meet the most beautiful girl from the Russian ethnic group? Let me introduce you to my sister, Naya. She's 176 centimeters tall, a Taurus, and a university graduate. Her looks? Absolutely stunning, blonde hair, blue eyes, and skin so fair it's like snow. She's a total head-turner wherever she goes, with a 100% means rate of people turning to look in Chinese, implying she's drop-dead gorgeous. But here's the catch, her standards for a future husband are pretty high. He's got to know how to cook, be gentle and considerate, and preferably have a good sense of humor to keep her laughing. What do you think? Aren't those requirements a bit intimidating? Sometimes I even worry for her. I mean, a guy like that isn't exactly easy to find. Honestly, I'm super proud to have a sister like her. Not only is she gorgeous, but she's also incredibly independent. From a young age, she's always known what she wants and never relied on anyone else. But lately, I've noticed something big. It seems like foreign girls are teaming up to steal Chinese guys. In just the past month, several foreign girls have shown up around me, and their expectations are so simple it's almost unbelievable. No house or car required, no expensive dowry, willing to work hard alongside their guy, happy to have kids and handle housework without a complaint, no need for holiday cash gifts, and they even keep working after marriage to help support the family. Tell me, with conditions like that, how are Chinese girls supposed to compete? Sometimes I wonder, if it were me, would I pick a local or a foreign wife? Ugh, it's such a tough call. My sister Naya says she's still set on finding a Chinese warm guy who can cook. She thinks Chinese men have a special charm, reliable and family-oriented. But seeing how picky she is, I'm starting to wonder if she'll end up picking herself into singlehood. Just the other day, she told me she went to a matchmaking corner and saw a bunch of foreign girls there snagging guys. She said she felt the pressure big time. I was like, sis, with your qualities, what's there to worry about? She laughed and said, little sis, I need to find someone worthy of me. So, what do you think, will she find him? I'm really curious. How about we chat about it in the comments? What kind of partner would you choose? I'm excited to hear your brilliant opinions.
太可怕了，外国女人正在组队抢中国男人。
Friends, have you ever thought about this? I recently stumbled upon something wild. I'm just a regular Beijing onlooker, and a few days ago, I witnessed a scene at the Tiantan Park matchmaking corner that nearly made my jaw drop. You know how the China-Russia intermarriage policy just came out not long ago? Well, a Belarusian beauty showed up on the scene like she meant business. She was fair-skinned, stunning, and tall, holding up an A4 sheet of paper with her stats. Graduated university in 2003, fluent in 5 languages, Chinese, English, French, Belarusian, and German, works in new media and pulls in 50,000 yuan a month. And here's the kicker. She's looking for a Chinese husband and explicitly says no dowry required. I was standing there eyes wide, totally floored. This girl had clearly done her homework on the Chinese market. She knew no dowry was a game changer and even circled it for emphasis. Guess what happened next? The uncles and aunties nearby swarmed her like bees to honey, all eager to set her up with their sons. Some were snapping photos with their phones, saying they'd send them to family. I was like, this is insane. It was like a bustling vegetable market with everyone fighting over the last head of cabbage. I took a closer look at her. She was genuinely gorgeous with great poise, wearing a simple white dress and flashing a sweet smile. She stood there, cool as a cucumber like she was used to being the center of attention. I overheard an auntie next to me gushing, who wouldn't lose their mind over this? 50,000 a month, top-tier looks and figure, high education, and she could even give you a mixed-race baby. This is a pie falling from the sky. Another uncle straight up shouted, young lady, my son's 32, perfect match. I almost burst out laughing. The internet went nuts afterward too. Netizens were all like, for the sake of China-Russia friendship, I'd volunteer for this diplomatic marriage. Someone even joked, she's taken 99 steps toward us. Shouldn't Chinese guys take that final step? I stood there watching for ages, overwhelmed with thoughts. The matchmaking scene is about to flip upside down. So, tell me who could say no to a girl like that? Let's chat in the comments. I'm dying to hear what you think.
今天啊，杭州相亲界一个条件天花板的男生啊，
Friends, have you ever thought about this? I recently stumbled upon something wild. I'm just a regular Beijing onlooker, and a few days ago, I witnessed a scene at the Tiantan Park matchmaking corner that nearly made my jaw drop. You know how the China-Russia intermarriage policy just came out not long ago? Well, a Belarusian beauty showed up on the scene like she meant business. She was fair-skinned, stunning, and tall, holding up an A4 sheet of paper with her stats. Graduated university in 2003, fluent in 5 languages: Chinese, English, French, Belarusian, and German, works in new media and pulls in 50,000 yuan a month. And here's the kicker. She's looking for a Chinese husband and explicitly says no dowry required. I was standing there, eyes wide, totally floored. This girl had clearly done her homework on the Chinese market. She knew no dowry was a game changer and even circled it for emphasis. Guess what happened next? The uncles and aunties nearby swarmed her like bees to honey, all eager to set her up with their sons. Some were snapping photos with their phones, saying they'd send them to family. I was like, this is insane. It was like a bustling vegetable market with everyone fighting over the last head of cabbage. I took a closer look at her. She was genuinely gorgeous with great poise, wearing a simple white dress and flashing a sweet smile. She stood there, cool as a cucumber, like she was used to being the center of attention. I overheard an auntie next to me gushing, who wouldn't lose their mind over this? 50,000 a month, top-tier looks and figure, high education, and she could even give you a mixed-race baby. This is a pie falling from the sky. Another uncle straight up shouted, young lady, my son's 32, perfect match. I almost burst out laughing. The internet went nuts afterward too. Netizens were all like, for the sake of China-Russia friendship, I'd volunteer for this diplomatic marriage. Someone even joked, she's taken 99 steps toward us. Shouldn't Chinese guys take that final step? I stood there watching for ages, overwhelmed with thoughts. The matchmaking scene is about to flip upside down. So, tell me who could say no to a girl like that? Let's chat in the comments. I'm dying to hear what you think.
外国女生真的来抢中国男生了吗？
I'm just an ordinary guy from Hangzhou, but lately, I've become a bit of a name in the matchmaking scene because I openly said I want to marry a foreign girl. Don't get me wrong, it's not that local girls aren't great, but I find them too pragmatic. I started dating at 28, and over the past 5 years, I've met no fewer than 50 girls. Every time, it's the same story: they want a house, a car, or a sky-high dowry, starting at 880,000 yuan, no less. Some even demand savings, insist the house be in their name, and expect 3 generations of family money to fund the marriage. After the wedding, they want contracts, treating childbirth like I'm serving a princess, acting like the boss at work and the supreme ruler at home. I'm honestly fed up. Foreign girls, though? Totally different vibe. I met this one foreign girl who said all she needs is a small house and a little car. She doesn't care much about material stuff and is willing to build a life with me. She's pretty, has a great personality, and her smile is so comforting. Sure, I'm not lacking those things myself, but years of dating have shown me the cold side of human nature. I remember one time, I met a local girl who, right off the bat, asked about my annual income and how big my house was. I told her everything, and she still thought it wasn't enough. After that, I was so disheartened I didn't want to keep going like this. Now, I just want a girl who's genuinely good to me, and I feel like only a foreign girl can fit that bill. Some say I'm being negative, but I think I'm just facing reality. A friend of mine heard my take and said, "Man, your heart's been totally broken." I just laughed and didn't argue. So, what do you think? Are foreign girls really coming to steal Chinese guys? I'm starting to feel like this might be the future trend. If local girls don't change, they might actually get outdone by the imports. I'm really curious about your opinions. Do any of you feel as exhausted as I do?
在未来，跨国婚姻会成为主流。中国女
Friends, I recently saw some data that totally shocked me. A survey says over half of Chinese guys are open to cross-border marriages. Can you believe it? I'm sweating for local girls here. The competition from abroad is no joke. Take Russian girls, for example. In their country, there are more women than men, and they're all gorgeous, model-like figures, and the best part? No dowry required. Rent a place, and they're ready to tie the knot. A buddy of mine was just telling me the other day about this Russian girl he knows, 1.78 meters tall, blonde hair, blue eyes, and a super gentle personality. She said as long as the guy treats her well, she doesn't care about a car or a house and is willing to work hard together. I couldn't believe my ears. Compared to that, a lot of Chinese guys are way more open to those kinds of terms. I was scrolling through online comments, and someone said, cross-border marriages might just be the future trend. People are starting to see it that way. Another person joked, foreign girls are this amazing, local girls better step up. I later chatted with a few of my brothers about it, and they all agreed that dating pressure these days is insane. Local girls' demands are through the roof, full-on house and car package, dowries starting at hundreds of thousands, and some even expect lifelong servitude. Meanwhile, foreign girls not only skip those demands but are also happy to have kids and handle housework. They're like the template for the perfect wife. What do you think? Could cross-border marriages become mainstream in the future? Are Chinese girls going to find it harder and harder to get hitched? Looking at this trend, it doesn't seem unlikely. Just a couple of days ago, someone asked me if dowries might drop because of this. I just laughed and said, bro, don't get your hopes up. After all, market dynamics don't shift that easily. So, what's your take on this?
那我国这个一线城市其实来说
I'm a local guy from Shanghai, and today I'm sharing my story with you all. I started dating at 26, and over the past 6 years, I've met 60 or 70 girls, none of them worked out. Either they demanded an 880,000 yuan dowry right off the bat, expected me to take over someone else's mess, or wanted me to step in as a dad to their kid. The bizarre experiences just keep piling up. I remember one time, I met a girl who immediately asked how big my house was and how much I earned annually. I answered honestly, and she still thought my conditions were average. Then there was another girl who, after chatting for half a month, casually dropped that she was divorced with a 3-year-old kid and wanted me to take over. I was floored. How am I supposed to keep going like this? Eventually, I got so fed up that I gave up on dating altogether. Whatever happens, happens, right? But then last year, I met a Russian exchange student online, and it was love at first sight. She's stunning, 1.75 meters tall, skin like a porcelain doll, and such a cheerful personality. She pursued me, and within 2 weeks, we were together. She doesn't care about a dowry at all, is happy to build a life with me, and says all she needs is for me to treat her well. Now we're planning to get married, and my family's totally on board. I'm so touched and feel really blessed. But it's got me thinking, what's up with local girls? It's this late in the game, and they still don't see reality? Do they even know how in-demand Chinese guys are now? My girlfriend told me that in her country, women outnumber men, and tons of girls there love how gentle and caring Chinese guys are. Plus, with China-Russia ties getting stronger, they see a Chinese husband as super reliable. So, tell me, isn't cross-border marriage looking more and more appealing? Sometimes I worry for local girls. At this point, why are they still holding on to their high standards? Let's chat in the comments. What do you think of my choice? I'm excited to hear your takes.
消息，中国相亲角已经走向国际大舞台了。
Hey everyone, the story about that Belarusian goddess showing up at the city matchmaking corner blew up online a couple of days ago. People are saying it might even bring dowries down. The comment sections are buzzing with excitement, some even thanking these foreign girls for saving the market. But honestly, I think it's a bit of a pipe dream. Think about it, most of these foreign girls are popping up in first-tier cities like Beijing, Shanghai, and Guangzhou, places where there are already more women than men. Meanwhile, the real bachelor hotspots are rural areas and 4th or 5th-tier cities. Do you really think these multilingual, highly educated, no dowry needed girls are going to fall for a guy from some remote mountain village? I know a Belarusian girl here in Beijing. She works a job pulling in 50,000 yuan a month and looks like a model. She told me she picks partners based on vibes, not materialism, but even then, she's aiming for quality city guys, someone she can connect with and share a common language. Their big advantage is skipping the dowry, sure, but in other areas, I actually think Chinese girls have the edge, like bonding over hot pot or gossiping with that effortless chemistry foreign girls might not match. I was chatting with a friend about this the other day, and he said, "You're overthinking it. These girls are here to snag the top-tier guys, not to play charity." And yeah, that kinda makes sense. For rural guys, they're probably still on their own, gotta grind it out themselves. Meanwhile, the competition in cities just got fiercer. What do you think? Can foreign girls crashing the dating scene really lower dowries? I'm skeptical. Still, it's a wild spectacle. Scrolling through online comments, I saw someone joke, "Great, now all the city guys get snatched up, and the countryside stays the same." Another person quipped, "No matter how great these white girls are, it's still about whether you're good enough for them." Honestly, I think they've got a point. Let's hear your thoughts in the comments.
I witnessed a total spectacle at Shanghai's People's Park Matchmaking Corner. It was so hilarious my stomach hurt from laughing. That day, a German girl, 1.75 meters tall, blonde hair, blue eyes, and elegant as heck, was surrounded by 10 uncles fighting over her like she was a celebrity. Nearby, a 35-year-old big sister got so mad she tore up her resume, yelled, "I'm done marrying," and stormed off. Then a Beijing Annie charged over to confront a Belarusian girl, asking, "Why are you here stealing our men?" The Belarusian girl shot back in fluent Chinese, "Auntie, I'm not picky, would your son do?" Haha, I nearly cried laughing on the spot. This girl's a savage. Young, gorgeous, and gentle, she totally obliterated the princess syndrome crowd without breaking a sweat. Back in the day, guys had to show up to matchmaking with a house, car, savings, and practically kneel while singing love songs. Now these foreign girls swoop in, and it's a complete game changer, a total dimensional beatdown. My buddy went to the Hangzhou matchmaking corner and came back acting like he'd won the lottery, muttering, "Belarusian wives are the best." He said there was a Belarusian girl there, 1.68 meters tall, can cook Chinese food, and only cares that the guy treats her well. Dowry's optional. He wanted to confess right then and there, but the crowd was too thick to push through. I stood there watching for ages, thinking, man, this is the golden age for Chinese guys. Local girls used to strut around like, "I'm this amazing, how could you possibly deserve me?" But now the tables have turned. These foreign girls show up, 10 years younger, sweet and considerate, and the local single ladies get completely outshined. Tell me, isn't this scene just too wild? Let's hear your thoughts in the comments.
Family. These foreign girls crashing the matchmaking corners have absolutely blown the roof off. I was scrolling online and saw pics. A Russian girl, 1.79 meters tall, like a supermodel with cascading blonde hair and ocean blue eyes, fluent in 5 languages, asking for just 8,800 yuan as a dowry. Then there's a Belarusian girl, 1.68 meters, who can cook Chinese food and says the dowry's up to you. Practically a buy one get one free deal. Compare that to the standard ads at local matchmaking corners. 35 years old, 985 university master's degree, demands a car and house. Dowry starting at 880,000 yuan, and you've got to pamper her like a princess. Then these foreign girls show up, and suddenly the domestic high-spec leftover women turn into unsold inventory. The internet's gone wild, someone posted. Foreign girls are young, gorgeous, earning money, and willing to have kids. Chinese guys are about to lose their minds with happiness. I saw the photos and wow, their vibe, their figures, they're like walking scenery. Local single women used to strut around saying, "I'm this amazing you can't match me," but now the wheels turned. These gentle, virtuous foreign girls are smashing their princess attitudes to bits. I even saw a meme about a 35-year-old woman at Shanghai's matchmaking corner who watched a German girl get swarmed, got so mad she yelled, "I'm done with this," and stormed off. Another netizen joked about his buddy confessing to a German girl. She asked, "Do you have a house?" He said no and she patted his shoulder. "No worries, I do." Haha, the happiness hit so fast he wanted to change his name to Hans on the spot. Of course, some level-headed bros chimed in. Don't just celebrate. You've still got to bring something to the table. Fair point. So why are these girls into Chinese guys? Some say it's China's booming economy and family-oriented men. Others think it's because they watched The Wandering Earth and believe Chinese guys can save the world. I'm just guessing. Maybe the men in their countries are too rough? Like German guys chowing down on pork knuckles all day. Romance cells long gone. This whole thing's too entertaining. Let's chat about it. What do you think?
Man, what are your standards for a partner?
Woman, for an old, 22-year-old like me, I've just got two standards. Male, doesn't drink.
Man, so, would you be open to dating a Chinese guy?
Woman, a Chinese guy? Are you kidding me? With my conditions, you think a Chinese boy would actually like me?
Man, why not?
Woman, have you heard about Chinese women? They're all thrifty and great at managing a home, cooking delicious meals, massaging their husbands, even washing their feet. But me? I can't do any of that. I've got no skills, no looks, nothing.
The video is coming to an end, and if you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing. I'll keep updating with content you love, and your support is my biggest motivation to keep going. Also, feel free to leave any suggestions in the comments. I'll be picking some of your feedback from there, and those selected will get a mysterious reward from me.